I wanted to do an introduction to basics on shells and show you how to install my favorite shell, which is Z shell. So a shell is mostly dealing with the command line interface. If you've ever ran a terminal in Mac OS X, Linux, Unix, then your little black window is essentially the view of a shell. So if you type echo shell, it'll show you the one you're running. The standard is usually bash, which comes with OS X, Linux, etc. Now, everything that you see on your screen in your environment is set up by bash. So for example, on the left-hand side over here, I can see my laptop, which is my host name, the path where I'm currently in, the tilde means my home directory, and user is my username. All those settings are controlled by bash. Now, I'm going to try to install a different shell, and you have a lot of different choices. You can see them under etc shells if you cat the file and spell it correctly. So these are all the choices that are available to me. If Z shell is not installed for any reason, you can install it by running brew install Z shell. Since it's already on my system, I won't be running that. Now, so the first step is to change my shell. To do that, I type ZSH, hit enter, put in my password, and then where you see shell, I replace this line with the entry for my favorite shell, which is Z shell. Now you'll notice nothing has changed because the environment hasn't been reloaded. So in order to do that, I can either type Z shell, which mostly does that, or I can open a new tab and you'll see that this is, if I type echo shell, and again, spell it right, I'm running Z shell. Now, you notice there's nothing that different about this. Mainly the prompt has changed. This is because I don't have any custom configuration. I just changed the shell and I don't have any settings, if you will. So rather than writing some convoluted ones, I'm going to install a suite of software or customizations, if you will, that allow me to have a much nicer prompt. You can find all of these instructions here, but I will be using the manual method. When I try to do this directly from like switching from bash to their automated instructions, it didn't work for me. So I'm gonna follow their manual approach, which they've documented as well in the same location. So the first step is to get the repository, and as you'll notice, it's cloning the project. And then if I go into my My Zsh shell, you'll see I have a bunch of new files that I didn't have before. Then to use their template, actually, I'm gonna type this line in. So this copies their template and renames it or copies it to my .zshrc file. My .zshrc file is what controls my users and settings file. So this basically controls my environment, if you will. And now if I can either type .zshrc or I can do source.zshrc, but the end result is I have a significantly cleaner prompt. So this shows me, well, basically the colors are nicer, but the main thing I like about it is the tab auto-completion. You'll notice when I was in my My ZSH folder, it showed me that I had a Git repository, that I was in the master branch, and if I happen to want to make some changes, I can type git, which is a command, and then hit tab, and it'll show me all the possible options. So if I want to do, let's bring this back up. I'm not sure if that's recording. So git clone tab, it'll show me a few things. Branch? I don't know. Well, basically, this is My Zsh shell. It's a really nice customization, and if you go into their into the project, they have a series of plugins that you can enable for all types of different behaviors, from if you're developing, if you're coding, if you're just using certain programs that are uncommon. It has auto completion for pretty much everything under the sun. If I was in a different folder, pom.xml, for example, is a Maven thing, Java development, and I hit tab, well, I guess I have to enable it. But overall, the interaction is a lot nicer and cleaner, which is what I like about it. So anyways, this is my introduction to Zsh shell. In my next tutorial, I will show you Antigen, which is a much more modular version that uses My Zsh shell.